thing. All right. Give me a sec. Andres. Okay. So there we are. And now let's go. So I'm going to send this to you once again. I'm going to select this. This one, this one, this one, this one. Okay. So you have it. You have it. Yeah. Like well, guys, so if you look at your WhatsApp groups, I just sent to all of you several links, right? And as you may know already, these links are basically the Google documents where you're going to write down your essays for me tonight. So please, I'm going to right now assign to all of you one of these links. And what you're going to do after I do so is to enter, okay, is to enter that link, and then you're going to start writing your essay as we practiced yesterday, okay? So let's start with it. So please listen very carefully. I'm going to assign all these links to each of you, so please listen. So in this case, Karen Artiaga, you're going to have the link that says first, okay? So if you go there and look for it, there is a link that says first. That is yours. What about Lucia Serrano? So Lucia, you're going to get the one that says second group, okay? That is your link. For Rodrigo Duran, you're going to get the one that says third group, okay? That's yours. For Flavia, you're going to get the one that says fourth, okay? So please hear Flavia, fourth is yours. Daniela Crespo is going to get the one that says fifth, okay, Daniela? So the one that says fifth is yours. Then Lenny, you're going to get the number 6. The one that says sixth is yours. And finally, Jasmine, you get the one that says 8. Okay, so the 8th one is yours. And I think that's pretty much what we have until this time. Great. So now let's go and practice. So as you know, please enter the link that I assigned you. For example, let's say you got the number 10, right? Although nobody got it. But you enter the Google documents. You scroll down onto the last page. In this case, let's do it this way. You scroll down onto the last page. There you are, like this. And make yourself some space, okay? Try to always start in a new page. And please write down there your name. For example, in this case, Carlos, right? So once you write down your name, below that, you're going to write down your essay, okay? So that I can identify it very easily. So please go to the last page, write down your name, and below there, you're going to write down your essay, okay? Well, so the last thing I have to tell you is what is going to be the topic for your essay, okay? So I'm going to show you tonight's topic. I'm going to open here my simulator, and then you can enter your links, okay? In a little sec. Here we are. Okay, writing. Independent essay. Awesome, guys. So what is tonight's topic? Tonight's topic is this one, okay? So I'm going to paste it here in the chat box for you to see it. And I'm also going to paste it right here in your WhatsApp groups so everybody can read it. Okay, fantastic. Now everybody can read it. So what's the thing? The topic says the following. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Children over the age of 15 should be allowed to vote. Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer. Okay, this is your topic. So as I told you yesterday, write down an essay explaining your position on this topic. Write down some arguments and illustrations as we learned yesterday, trying to respect the template that we have discussed together. And how much time you have for this? 30 minutes. And as you know, try to write down at least 300 words. Okay, that's the minimum quantity, 300. If you write down less than that, it's not going to be a very effective essay. Okay, So you really want to write down more than 300. Awesome. Okay, so here I have your time. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to send all of you, okay, dear students, to separate rooms. I'm going to send you all to breakout rooms. Each of you is going to have a breakout room just for yourself. Why? Because I know that right now, more of your classmates are going to get into the reunion. And if I start talking, you're going to get concentrated, okay? So better if just everybody here is completely alone. So please, I'm going to send you all to separate breakout rooms, okay? So when you see the invitation, please accept it and enter your breakout room, okay? When you enter, start writing your essay because I'm going to run my chronometer. I'm going to share that with you in your breakout rooms so that you're going to be able to see my screen, okay? And thus you'll be able to see how much time you have for writing these essays, okay? So please, all of you, go to your rooms and start writing your essay. You have 30 minutes for doing so, and then you're going to come back. Okay, so please go and I see you very soon. Well, guys, great. So as you see, those were your 30 minutes to complete the essay. And now it's time for us to go and review it, okay? To sorry, to look at what you did, to read every single essay you composed. So let's go, okay? I'm going to open the Google Documents. I hope you found the time you had to be sufficient for you to fulfill this matter. Anyways, trust me, as I told you, everything regarding the writing section is just a practice in typing and trying to write as much as you can in the computer, right? Well, let's go. We're going to start in order. We have the first essay, and let us see what we can get out of this one so that all of us can learn something, right? Let's go. So this was Karen's essay, if I'm not wrong. So let's go to the last page. Okay, great. Karen Artiaga. So let's see what Karen wrote and what essay she composed. Let's go. It says the following. Has been scientifically demonstrated decades ago that human beings continue to develop their cognitive abilities and maturity of thinking until they are over 21 years of age. So here will be 21 years old. Okay, of age is a little bit unnatural, but yeah. Likewise, many professionals have widely recognized that children who are under 18 years old do not have the maturity and the interest to think about politics. As a matter of fact, children over the age of 15 should not be allowed to vote. Fantastic. This opinion is due to the following motives. Great. I think it's a beautiful introduction respecting the template, two different facts, a connector, and your opinion, right? Which is very solid, which is very clear. Fantastic. Then we have, and you actually included also the transition phrase. Beautiful. So let's go to the body. First, children who are 15 years old are in the climax of adolescence, which means that they are going through normal or through hormonal or changes, making it difficult to concentrate on important topics like politics and the future of their country. Fantastic. As a matter of fact, teenagers at that age are recently forming their ideas based on a combination between what they have listened to in their homes and in their social environment. Fantastic. Moreover, they are still combating the changes in their bodies and changes of perspective. Awesome. According to a poll here, say 5 out of 7 teenagers of that age usually go to visit a psychologist to deal with their social problems. Excellent. This is a very good argument, but it continues, right?
Teacher, but I didn't finish. I spent much
Yes.
time in the beginning.
Okay, great. That's fine.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, I see that you maybe didn't write here the illustration, right? But it's fine. On top of that, teenagers who, or excuse me, at 15, have other interests like social media, sports, classes, living clearly. What does this mean, living clearly? I guess you mean like living in the sense like living, right? Living clearly, outside things like the future of their cities. Exemplifying, when I was a child of that age, I used to be interested in parties, sports, watch you're watching TV, right? Watching TV, and those were the typical topics with my classmates. Maybe because we lived in a bubble until I was more than 18. Never was a more flabbergasted than that day when I passed with my teachers of history the meaning of an election. Here, this comma when necessary, and talking about the political proposals of the candidates. Beautiful. Furthermore, the content to be found in books that we curse. Okay, that's fine. So great. I think it's a very good first paragraph. The argument is very clear, and the illustration is certainly valid. You're talking about yourself, how said that you were not very interested in these matters when you were younger, and this, of course, exemplifies the argument. Great. Let's see how many words you got. You got. Come on. Okay, see that one. You got. Okay, you got 281 words. Okay, we will have to work a little bit on that. You told me that you didn't have time. Don't worry, it's normal. So, but great. I think that until this point, you're doing great. It's just a matter of continuing the practice. Okay, very good. You're Karen. Let's go to the next essay. Second group. Let's talk about this one. All right. Here I have it. Okay, awesome. So Lucia says it. Social scientists, you're scientists, right? Have demonstrated that the ages of 18 or 21 years old are an average for people to take mature decisions in their life. Okay. Likewise, at the age of 18 or 21, new stages, here, a comma, right? Because it's a commentary. New stages happen, for example, new stages happen. Okay, so here, this will be a sentence. And here you would start with a connector, right? For example, comma, because for example, it's a connector, right? For example, the beginning of university or the first legal job and so on. The right to vote means a big responsibility in order to choose the proper representation for important democratic issues like presidents, okay, parliamentarians, and authorities. Here, commas, right? Presidents, comma, parliamentarians, and parliamentarians. Oh, here there's a parliamentarians. Yes, the parliament. That's right. And authorities in general. Okay, great. First, at the age of 15, teenagers have different priorities, and the democratic field is not something serious for them. As a matter of fact, at that age, most of teenagers and children do not learn too much about politics. Here, politics, right? Because like politics, although it sounds as if it were plural, it's actually just one word, and it's like politica, right? So politics, it's politica, but in English we use the S. The democratic system and how a state works. Okay. Additionally, psychology scholars, okay, determine that the teenage, okay, is a process of many mental and physiological. Here it's physiological like this, okay, physiological process with many changes and challenges. According to apocryphal hearsay, teenagers have their heart and mind divided in 3 pieces. On top of that, the right to vote is as big a responsibility that consider engagement from people. When a person votes, you votes, right? So it's just one person. For the authorities, it must be mandatory to research at least beforehand. It's not separated. It's conjuncted beforehand. The proposal, the authority profile, the future projects, and public policies. Exemplifying when I voted for the first time for presidential elections at the age of 18 years old, professor gave me a research homework where I had, right? Because it's past, where I had to analyze. And here this wouldn't be necessary. All the proposals and the candidates. For me, it will not be possible to do that at the age of 15 years or less. Furthermore, a critical attitude before vote might be mandatory. Meanwhile, a person grows, right? Grows and matures. Once again, matures because it's a person, right? Just an individual. Concisely, okay? Consistently, I guess you mean, like consistently. Taking important decisions and you're assuming new responsibilities are more easy due to, okay, assuming, okay, here, which, I guess, which are more easy due to the previous experiences and knowledge learned by the time. Subsequently, the reality and different contexts of each person determines how they think, analyze politics, here again, politics, legal priorities, and the law content. However, children also could analyze that, but with another point of view. But sometimes don't fit, or here doesn't, right? Does not fit with the contemporary war issues. To illustrate, when I was a child teenage, nature, right? I used to vote for the president of my class nonetheless. Okay, here, period, and capital letter, right? Because a connector, nonetheless, moreover, furthermore, likewise, connectors are always written after a period and with capital letter. Okay, remember, connectors, any connector is written after a period and capital letter. Okay, and normally with a comma after the connector has been inserted. Okay, nonetheless, comma, me and my classmates just focused or both pass, right? Focused or voted because she could be our friends or our ideas were funny. Here, because you're talking about when you were a child, right? Indeed, children can exercise the right to vote, but not yet in the democratic spheres. To round off, I'd like to say that children can exercise the right to vote and simulate democratic state spaces to prepare themselves here, okay? To prepare themselves for the future. Additionally, reinforce leadership and collective skills. Okay, reinforces, right? Great. I think it's a great essay. It's very long as well. Let's see how many words you got. You fulfill with all the elements of the template, which is great. All right, let's see. And you got 424 words. Great. It's wondrous. So it's a great essay. It's well written. Would you have some grammar issues? But try to look at the repetition of this video and try to make your own research and understand why are they wrong. But normally just were, very basic issues that you can very easily realize and of course to implement in your future essay. Okay, great. It was fantastic anyways. Let's go to the third one. Let's see what we can get out of this one. Okay, here we are. Let's see who wrote this one. Okay, here we are. Rodrigo Duran. Okay, let's see. People over 18 years old have always been allowed to vote in different countries. However, right, as I told you, connectors always with capital letter, after a period, before a comma. I repeat, after a period, capital letter, and before a comma. Okay. However, many people believe that 15 years is enough to understand your position in order to vote. According to Bolivian laws, teenagers over 18 years old are conscious enough to decide for a political team because they are interested in those controversial topics. Great. This opinion is due to the following motives. Okay, great. I think it's very good. First, the year a citizen here, this wouldn't be necessary, right? Because the capital letter is just for the connector, not for the sentence that precedes the connector. The year a citizen votes is very important because of maturity. As a matter of fact, here, once again, comma, okay? After every single connector, many people can easily decide to vote, but when someone has to vote, they must think and understand that because circumstances are around, okay? You can just not have vote for obligation. Exemplifying, I always have my decision for whom to vote for. Yeah, for whom to vote. For whom to vote. Okay, this is a little bit, unorthodox. I always had my decision for whom to vote. I think that here this word wouldn't be necessary. For whom, right? Por quién votar, for whom to vote, since I was 12 years old. However, so notice here once again, as a connection, right? So you write however with capital letter after a period and before a comma. However, my arguments were not good. In other words, here, this is order connector. In other words, I did not have a reason. My parents used to tell me the importance of learning and knowing what you are doing if I would vote one day. Great. Furthermore, there are several cases when teenagers over 15 years old know the attributes and rights of voting, but not all teenagers understand the conflict they can make. Great. Also, they can be easily convinced by their parents in order to decide to vote when they have to choose on their own. To illustrate, my cousins are over 12 years old and they obey everything their parents say, so they are not independent enough to make a decision. Great, it's very good. To run up, I would like to say that voting is not a game. Laws exist for several reasons, and if you make an important decision, you have to think more than twice. Restrictions try to make all citizens vote salient, okay, fantastic word, and democratic. Great, it's a very good essay. Let's see how many words you got. Okay, there you are. You got 286 words. We'll have to work a little bit on the words quantity, but it's just, well, I'm almost trifling quantity. 15 words, and that's very easy to get, okay? Fantastic, it was a very good essay. Let's go with the next one. We got the fourth group. Okay. Let's see what you got. So here you have, okay. Flavia, it says, it has been demonstrated that children over 15 should not vote because it was demonstrated that children, okay, children is unnecessary because children is the plural of child, even although it doesn't use the final S. Okay, children cannot make their own decision. According to a magazine, teens are indecisive and they cannot define the future of a country. This opinion is due to the following motives. Okay, great. Very good introduction. First, teens cannot, here I guess you mean teenagers, right? Teenagers cannot identify who is a good leader to lead a country. As a matter of fact, teenagers are indecisive and are always changing their minds, and some teenagers take everything as a joke. Great. Here, right? Any connector that includes these ones, according to apocryphal hearsay, they view life as a game or joke, and they do not care about their future and the future of the country. On top of that, they only care about parties and they are selfish. Okay, great. Exemplifying, when my brother was 15 years old, he always went to parties or with his friends and he didn't care about the future of Bolivia. Great. Furthermore, teens are not involved in society. In fact, teenagers just care about their social life and they are popular or not. Very good. To illustrate, the only thing that matters to my cousin is her status, and she didn't care about politics or political parties. Great. It's very good. So I maybe see that you didn't have time to complete the conclusion. It's fine, don't worry. But until this point, it's a great essay. It's well argued, and it's also well accounted, and the illustrations are very personal, which is great. Okay, let's check this out. You got 193 words. You'll have to work a little bit on this because you still need to get 100 additional words for your essay to meet the minimum quantity. Okay, so try to practice a bit more using your keyboard, and you can improve that easily. Okay, great. It's a very good essay. Let's go with the fifth one. Let's see what our classmates got. Okay, this is Daniela's essay. It is well known that teenagers build their personality, and as a result, their point of view of many things while they grow up. Okay. Likewise, a fixed and well-thought political choice is very difficult to make for teenagers. Accordingly, children over the age of 15 definitely should not be allowed to vote. This opinion is the result of the following motives. First of all, teenagers are very easily influenceable. Okay, great. And manipulable. I'm not sure if this word is correct. I guess it is because it's not marking it here. Manipulable. Manipulation. Yeah, I think it is. Manipulable. Very weird though. As a matter of fact, they commonly follow trends or popular ideas suggested by people who they admire, by their families, or nowadays by people they follow on social media. Great. This can lead to a massive group of people doing or saying things that they do not actually believe in, or they are not even able to understand deeply. In addition, according to apocryphal hearsay, when a teenager gets older, he or she will have less than 30% of his older preferences and beliefs. On top of that, it is evident that politicians take advantage of these kinds of influenceable groups in order to attract more people. Even though they are not reliable candidates, they do not offer a prosperous future perspective. I like the vocabulary, it's great. Exemplifying, when I was at school, it was very common between my classmates to be in favor of socialism and communism because they believe in the classic speech of the search for justice and equality for the poorest people. Beautiful, beautiful example. Furthermore, I consider that historical facts are very important to take a position in politics. It is said that the one who does not know his history is condemned to repeat it. Beautiful phrase. You know, the only thing that I would recommend you here, that in English, when you're making a quotation with this one, always make it this, okay? Like, comma, then you quote, and if you're going to finalize the sentence there, your point should be within the quotation commas, okay? And then you continue writing as you would normally do. But remember, comma, you quote, and then your final punctuation symbol is going to be within the quotation, okay? Indeed, teenagers who are just learning about what happened in the past in different countries are not able to be conscient. Here, I guess you mean conscious, okay? Because conscience is not right. Conscious, okay? About the big errors committed by some politicians. Referring to the example I gave before, some years later, we studied the communism in the URSS, sorry, and the crimes committed by the leaders like Stalin or Mao, even worse. Okay, I love how you are very historically informed here. To round off, I would like to advise teenagers to get to inform themselves very well about the different political positions existing. Okay, it's beautiful. It's a great essay. It's very well historically supported. Arguments are clever, and I like that you are quoting, right? Phrases is a very good resource, that one. And so let's see how many words you got. So 347 words. Well, you certainly matched the minimum. You wouldn't have to care about that. But if you can improve a little bit more to get 400 words, it would be excellent. Okay, great essay. Very good. Let's go with number 6. We are about to finish. Okay, so please, guys, just give me a second. And all these things are useful to everybody, right? Because everybody's learning here. Something that I recommend to your classmates. Okay. We have this essay. Says the following. Lenny Jimenez. First, studies say that the maturity in a person arrives at 16 years old. Okay, here, little thing with the punctuation. Okay, like that. As a matter of fact, the basic studies that help us to be responsible with a society create the conscious about the reality, each of us create the conscious. I guess you mean the consciousness, right? About the reality for each of us. According to comments into my country and supporting this idea with our social conjuncture, okay, this is a beautiful word, okay, conjuncture, great. Young people get proper maturity from 18 years old. For those reasons, okay, so for those reasons, right, because you're talking in plural, and here better if you just make it a connector. For those reasons, comma, I don't agree with this statement. Very good. Try to separate your paragraphs, okay, a little bit. Top of that, today's youth have less knowledge of society, in despite of being much better informed through social networks than previous generations. Okay, that's true actually. It is a myth that young people cannot be swayed by political propaganda. Very good word, by the way. It's correctly written, propaganda. That's how you read it, how you write it, sorry, in English. By political propaganda or the opinions of their parents. Exemplifying, there is a young people group in my city, between 15 to 17 years old, and they say that their main objective every year until they grow up and be professionals is passing. Here is passing, right? Is passing their subjects every year, spending time with friends, here again with the gerund, right? Spending, pasar, time with your friends, going to the parties, okay, going in this article here wouldn't be necessary, going to parties and being happy. And being happy every day, no matter what. They never talked about politics or society, less about social responsibility. Okay, great. Here, instead of comma, I will have used a semicolon. You know why, dear students? Because when you are writing like this type of sentences, notice that this is an independent sentence, right? And this sentence doesn't need any other sentence preceding it or anteceding it because it is a sentence that maintains its meaning and significance by itself. So whenever you have this type of sentences, better if you don't separate them from other sentences using commas. Instead, try to use semicolons, which, as I say, divide sentences that are not related and reflect some independency. Or well, you can actually use periods as well, which is of course easier and simpler. But if you want to get a little bit of more resources to your essay and to make it more professional, try to use semicolons. It's a very simple thing to use. Social media is the unique interest they have, how they look or what do they do. The culture in young people is completely different than 10 years ago. Baby boomers or Generation X, I guess here you mean the X generation, right? But never were more flabbergasted than today, okay? For the great changes that carry on the internet, even in their lives. For a long time, we were fighting for democracy to try left. Okay, for trying to left, I guess. I hear you mean. For trying to leave, and it would be for trying to leave, right? To leave a better society to the next generations. But now the centennials, okay, have another thought about democracy here. This article is not necessary in the future. To conclude, new generations need an impulse by their parents if they want to live in democracy. Working in schools and families should be the best solutions. Finally, instilling, very good word, by the way, knowledge about the social reality in the youth will force the political parties to make political improvements for the youth. To round off, I'd like to say that it is advisable. Okay, it's fine. It's a very good conclusion because you're recommending something, right? Great, let's see how many words you got. It's a very good essay. You got 337. Great. You meet the minimum required, which is fantastic. And well, it was a great essay. Just try to maybe augment a little bit your words quantity, and that's it. You are done. Okay, last essay. Then we leave. It says the following. Let's see what your classmates wrote. Says the following. Jasmine says it. The reading extra leads off with the idea that the author and oh no, but this cannot be. Nobody wrote here in the 7th one. Did somebody write here? No, right? Okay, I think that's all then. Yeah, I think that's all. Okay. Or am I forgetting somebody? Maybe, guys. No. Okay. No, I think not. Well, great. Fantastic. So the only thing I can say is great, guys. You did a fantastic job. We're going to continue practicing tomorrow for this essay. And great, I think that you've done a fantastic job. Try to practice more, as I say, using your computer, typing more with your keyboard, and that is going to help you a lot, okay? So please, before you go, help me out with your kind responses to our poll here. And please listen to your names, okay, so that we can have you in the list. All right, let's go. Great. So it's here present our dear Rodrigo Omar.
Present.
Thank you very much, Rodrigo. What about Astrid Mariela, Andres Uribe, and David Uribe? Okay. We don't have them right here. What about Karen Silvana?
Present, teacher.
Thank you very much, Karen. What about Daniela Barrientos?
Present, teacher.
Thank you very much, Daniela. What about Diane Romina? What about Jasmine Camila?
Present, teacher.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. What about Lenny Jimenez?
Present, teacher.
Thank you very much, Lenny. Yvonne Cana, Maya Mariel, Flavia Montaño.
Present.
Thank you very much, Flavia. What about Karen Ginelli? And finally, Lucia Sulena.
Present, teacher.
Thank you very much, Lucia. Great. So thank you very much, guys, for your kind responses. I'm going to be seeing you next time in order to finalize and continue with this. So please have a wonderful night. See you. See you very soon.
My teacher.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much. See you guys.